Politicians are telling us that we need to cut spending to public sectors, cut spending to welfare, and we have to raise taxes so that we won't default. Why are we defaulting? Well, it's because we have been borrowing money, right, left and center. We've been borrowing money from banks to be able to buy ourselves cars, flats, computers, flat screen TV, and etc., etc. Okay, we must repay that. Okay, no problem. But the main problem is the debt, the huge debt around the world isn't because I bought myself a computer or a flat screen TV. It's because some speculative buyer thought he could make a huge amount of money by betting against some currency or betting that some stock would rise, etc., etc., etc. Then when this didn't happen, money disappeared. Money that never existed disappeared. Those are the huge debts that we are supposed to be paying. Well, why should we? If we think of what happened in Iceland, we had 3 major banks, and they had become extremely big. The size of the Icelandic banking system was around 10 times the size of the Icelandic economy. So, when the banking system collapsed in October 2008, there never even was raised a question that we should save that system, because people just laughed. The Icelandic government couldn't save the banking system, so we had to find another measure. So what was done was that banks were we allowed them to become bankrupt. So foreign creditors lost around 7,500 billion kroners of the falling of the Icelandic banks. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. And people are saying to Greece, if Greeks won't pay, everything will go into a standstill. The sun won't rise tomorrow, they will be isolated like the Cuba, like North Korea, etc., etc., etc. Well, Icelandic banking system didn't pay those 7,500 billion kroners, and the sun came up. We are not isolated. We are still collecting funds and money from the financial markets to run our companies. So basically nothing happened. So why do we still believe that we shall pay debts of private institutions? They who speculated with this money should be the ones to pay. So that's, to bring myself backwards again, that's what I mean by prioritizing. Because financial institutions and financial systems exist for us, not the other way around. You have to remember that. Because people do not exist for financial institutions to survive. It is, we are number one. And if we put people in first place, if we make sure that people are okay, and people can manage and survive, and the homes, they can have their secure homes, they can have their secure income, and they can go out and about and spend their money and salaries. We would also secure a good and healthy economy. Because when I go out and buy myself a cup of coffee or milk or computer or whatever, there is another person on the end of the line and he is selling a cup of coffee, milk, computer, whatever. So when I can afford those things, the economy is blooming. So to make sure that the economy of Europe, Iceland, Greece, Italy, Spain, wherever, to make sure that this economy is going to bloom and be self-sustainable, we must search for, make sure that people are okay. By doing that, the economy will be okay. So, if the banks were reckless, let them fail. If some governments were reckless, fire them. If we were reckless, well, of course we should pay for that. But in most cases, I think the common public just went on about things that they were used to do. And they just participated in the world. They just participated in the daily life. We didn't do anything wrong. We just followed anybody else. So, I'm not sure that I have a solution, I have a strategy, I have something that we should do. But what we have put together is that we think that movements, like all those movements in here, movements across Europe, movements across the world, should, one way or the other, collaborate. We should be able to implement basic solutions so that we can fix those problems lying ahead. We should look at the big picture, because there is no solution in fixing the TV if there is no electricity in the house. So we must look at the big picture, find out how we can fix those things. And I think this is a sign that I should stop, so that's basically what I have to say for now. Thank you very much.